Hello, this is Lord's Legion and welcome to a brand new movie review, and yes, this is a day late, but ultimately this is better late than never. And in a traditional fashion, in that the UK get to see majority of the films earlier than most people, I got to see The Predator. As to which the movie itself has been under a lot of bad press as of late, with the controversies as well as some behind the scenes drama and the fact that it's getting mixed reviews thus far. But the real question is The Predator even a good film in its own right? Or is all of the criticisms warranted? But without further ado, let's begin with this review. Now when it comes down to the Predator franchise as a whole, I consider myself to be a casual fan. I don't know too much about the expanded lore, but I have seen at least Predator, the original, which still holds up very strong to this day, may I add. I haven't seen Predator 2 yet, but I've heard it's kind of a mixed bag, and I've seen Predators, which I think is pretty enjoyable despite its faults. And so naturally I was a little disappointed in that they weren't going to do a sequel for Predators. And so with The Predator, I didn't know what to expect. And if anything, I was kinda concerned about this film because of the behind the scenes drama, as well as the fact that Fox has butchered both the Alien and Predator franchises for a good while now, and not to mention that the trailers themselves didn't really have me very interested. And I am going to say this right now, The Predator is a very stupid movie, but at the same time, I kinda enjoy it. Yes, the movie is a mess, yes, this movie is incredibly ridiculous, and no, this isn't anything high art, but ultimately I was entertained from beginning to end. And I do understand that many people will have a completely different opinion to my own, whether they are a die-hard Predator fan or not. And again, I'm not saying that this is a great movie by any means, but if you look at it as a dumb action movie full of violence and one-liners, I think it's pretty enjoyable for what it was. Could it have been a much better movie? Absolutely, but at the same time, it could have been much worse. Now when it comes down to the overall plot, I honestly couldn't narrow it down to any of you because so much stuff happens in this movie and it's so hard to keep track because of how fast paced it really was. All you really need to know is that the Predators are coming back to Earth once again, and it's up for a few military people to take down the Predators. Obviously there's much more to it, but I can't exactly spoil anything in this review. And like I said, it goes all over the place and it's really hard to keep track of everything. As for the cast, I thought they were pretty enjoyable for the most part. I wouldn't go as far as to say that anyone stood out above the rest in this movie, and I didn't particularly care about any of the characters for what they were, but as far as the cast goes and how they play off with one another, I thought that they were relatively funny, and they did have a few badass moments here and there. I do wish that they were further developed as characters, but given how this is an action movie, this is kinda to be expected. As for the Predators in this movie, I thought that they were very kick-ass. More specifically the traditional Predator, which I do believe is known as the Fugitive in this movie. And I did have a few chills here and there whenever this Predator went and hunted down its prey. And then we also have the Ultimate Predator, who I wasn't really as fond of as the other Predator, but he was still fun nonetheless. And I do appreciate a much more unique take on a different Predator for once. Now what I really enjoy about this movie is the fact that it's very hardcore with some heavy violence, and they don't even shy away from its brutality. And pretty much every action scene apart from the final act I really enjoyed. And some of the special effects in this movie were very hit and miss. A lot of the practical stuff worked, but some of the CG was very jarring at points and very noticeable. Mainly with the Predator dogs, as well as even some scenes featuring the Ultimate Predator. And like I said, the worst thing about The Predator is the fact that the third act completely ruined the movie, because by that point you can tell where all the reshoots were and how it had a completely different tone. Hell, even the ending was balls, and was clearly sequel bait. But like I already said, The Predator is clearly flawed and it does have a lot of problems. Mainly with its pacing, the editing, and of course the final act. But aside from that, I did find myself enjoying this movie purely for entertainment value. And if you ask me, I would rather be entertained with stupidity from this movie than being bored out of my mind during Alien Covenant or being incredibly insulted by the Alien vs Predator series. And so for the final verdict for The Predator, I'm going to be quite generous and give it a 6.5 out of 10. Because while it was flawed, I was at least entertained, and whether you consider this to be a good sequel for Predator or not, that is down to you. So what do you think of The Predator if you have already seen it yet? Did you find this movie to be enjoyable despite its flaws, or do you think that this is a disgrace to the Predator legacy? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video, please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.